Hey Logan, is it true you were a wrestler in high school? Well, yeah, why do you think I love getting fit? Interesting. Is it true that you were also a linebacker? Yeah, where are you going with this? Oh, nothing really. So, what about that Forex thing? We don't talk about the Forex thing. Fair enough. Could you at least tell me what's in this stuff? Okay, so I guess we're talking about Prime. Unfortunately, we're not talking about the Transformers today, although that will be a decidedly cooler topic. Take a seat, Optimus Prime, this isn't about you. When Logan Paul announced that he would be releasing a sports drink, we got skeptical. This is a foodspiracy, and if anyone knows anything about conspiracies, it's crypto scamming, dead body filming, daddy of YouTube apologies, Logan Paul, with his thick, as Gordon Ramsey put it, perfume drink.
It's like swallowing perfume. What is that?
If you don't know what we're talking about, well, Logan is one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and since his Vine days and rise to fame on YouTube, he's been the kind of guy to mess up, release an apology, tweet, then make the same mistake 2 weeks later. Remember back in 2017 when he was grilled for filming and posting the dead body of someone who'd committed suicide?
We found a dead body.
What about when he posted himself tasering 2 dead rats? If those 2 events are too far back in internet history for you to remember, then you gotta remember when he rug pulled his audience just last year in his bust NFT game project Crypto Zoo. He's being sued for that, by the way, but the point is, Logan ain't exactly an internet St. Paul. So when we heard he was dipping his grubby Mr. Burns fingers into the sports drinks world, we had to ask, is this another famous Logan Paul scam? And what exactly is in the drink, Logan? We're taking Prime from the fridge and putting it on the hot seat. Hold on to your protein shakes and leave the treadmill alone for just a second. We're pulling the curtain behind Logan's pastel power juice. So let's put our aliens conspiracy cream right here. So, the first question is this a scam? Should we be swinging at Logan like Conor McGregor? Well, since KSI and Logan teamed up to make Prime, it's actually been making pretty big waves. It's in stores in gyms nationwide, and it even somehow managed to become the official global sports drink of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. If it's another Logan get-rich-quick scheme, it's honestly doing a great job of not looking like one. But Logan and Prime aren't out of the woods just yet. This wouldn't be a foodspiracy without something fishy going on. And the more we look at Prime, the more it starts to look like creepy live-action flounder. Let's take a look at the back of the bottle. One of Logan's big selling pitches is that Prime contains a lot less sugar compared to other energy drinks. What better one to use than the one sports drink that's been serving American athletes for 57 sweet years? Introducing the sugar daddy of all sports drinks, Gatorade. Maybe Gatorade should be called Prime instead. It's not as old as any of the Transformers.
You keep your eyes open, life will show you everything you need to know.
But your granddad probably chugged on a bottle after his college football matches. Compared to Gatorade, Logan actually isn't lying about Prime's sugar content. A 500 milliliter bottle of Prime contains 2 grams, while a 591 milliliter bottle of Gatorade contains 28.7 grams. That's 48.5 milligrams per milliliter to 4 milligrams per milliliter. We're getting a bit technical here, but the numbers don't lie. Gatorade has enough sugar to send you to the moon, and Prime doesn't even have enough to sweeten your mug of tea. This may be a massive win for Prime, but lower sugar content isn't the only goodie Logan Claus promises us. If we're taking his word for it, Prime only contains 25 calories, while Gatorade contains a whopping 140 calories. To be fair, Gatorade does have a lot more sugar, and you can't fill up a drink with calories and expect it to be sugarless. Science just doesn't work like that. That said, after crunching all the numbers, breaking down the values, and kickboxing a few zombies, we're left with 0.25 calories per milliliter for Gatorade and 0.05 calories per milliliter for Prime. Prime takes the cake again, and it doesn't even break a sweat. Is Logan Paul actually winning? We're not done yet. Finally, let's look at the electrolyte contents of the drinks. Gatorade contains 350 milligrams of electrolytes, while Prime has a big boss 825 milligrams. That's the final nail in the coffin.
That's the last nail in the coffin.
Prime buried Gatorade like Kane buried Undertaker. It's a knockout, folks. Gatorade's combo of 270 milligrams of sodium and 80 milligrams of potassium doesn't stand a chance against Prime. Prime wins again, but the punch, no pun intended, is that Logan was wrong about the amount of electrolytes in his own sports drink. He said a bottle had 825 milligrams of electrolytes, when in reality, after adding up all the numbers, Prime actually has 835 milligrams, 124 milligrams of magnesium, 10 milligrams of sodium, and 700 milligrams of potassium all make up that big, juicy number. And it's not just Gatorade that Prime utterly destroys either. If we look at Prime versus Body Armor sports drink, we get Prime winning in the low sugar content field, with Body Armor's total sugar lying at 26 grams. In the calories department, Prime wins again, with Body Armor's calories being 120 grams. Body Armor's electrolytes do sit at a staggering 1,000 milligrams per bottle, but you've got to admit, Prime came pretty close and beat Body Armor 2 times out of 3. Maybe Prime is a transformer because it's undoubtedly wiping the floor with its opponents. Not so fast, though. We popped electrolytes right into the categories of things Prime has to battle to prove that it's a worthy opponent for energy drink crates. But we never answered a very important question. What exactly are electrolytes? We don't want to go all Dexter's Laboratory on you, so we'll break down what electrolytes are without sounding like total nerds. Electrolytes aren't Invader Zim background characters.
Don't be ridiculous! I have already stuffed my normal human belly so full of delicious human filth!
They're tiny little minerals in your body that keep your muscles and organs in proper working condition. There are only 7 of them usually listed in food: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chloride, bicarbonate, and phosphorus. These minerals have an electrical charge and they help carry messages between cells. But here's the kicker: when you're out in the gym, on the field, or the court sweating up a river, you lose electrolytes, and then you get tired, get a headache, and fail to get those extra reps in. This is where electrolyte drinks come in, like Superman to your poor, weak body. They're stuffed full of those minerals, so when you sweat and lose them, chugging a bottle of an electrolyte drink will make you feel better. Electrolyte drinks are basically every gym rat's nectar, and that's why you can hardly find any serious athlete without a bottle of one in hand. So, now you get why it's vital for electrolyte drinks to have lots of electrolytes, and on that front, Prime is actually doing a great job. No wonder everyone's getting hooked on the stuff. It gets you all hyped up and makes your neurons fire like crazy. It's the ultimate power-up juice. The Mario brothers probably drink Prime before fighting Koopas. But we're not exactly done here. Prime might have buried Gatorade and stood toe-to-toe with its other competitors, but there are still questions left unanswered here, and we're going to get to the bottom of the bottle. Let's take a huge gulp of Prime and get a taste of the flavor. Prime wouldn't be making money if the taste absolutely sucks, and unsurprisingly enough, their flavors don't taste that bad at all. In fact, customers have reported that Prime is really sweet. Sweeter than most other sports drinks, including Gatorade. But that shouldn't make sense, right? It has much less sugar and calories than Gatorade, so what gives? Well, it wouldn't be a foodspiracy without some skeletons in the closet, and Logan has a very bony one hiding in his drink. Remember the army of electrolytes lying in Prime? Well, their recipe for your body's little mineral helpers is a lot different from other sports drinks on the market.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
As we said before, Prime's 835 milligrams of electrolytes come from 124 milligrams of magnesium, 10 milligrams of sodium, and 700 milligrams of potassium. We're spitting big science words here, and we haven't even told you exactly what these electrolytes do. Let's start with sodium. Sodium is a mineral that helps conduct nerve impulses, contract and relax muscles, and maintain the proper balance of water and minerals. It's most commonly found in table salt, as sodium is what gives salt that salty taste we all know and love. Magnesium helps regulate muscle and nerve function, blood sugar levels, and blood pressure, and it also aids in the making of protein, bone, and DNA. It's commonly found in foods like nuts, seeds, and leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale. Last but not least, we have potassium. This mineral helps maintain normal fluid levels inside our cells, and it is commonly found in foods like bananas, oranges, and other fruits. It's also in vegetables like sweet potatoes, broccoli, and tomatoes. Now that we know what precisely these electrolytes do for the body, let's get back to Prime's war with the Decepticons. Let's take a look at how other brands get their electrolytes. Gatorade has just 2 electrolyte sources and lists the ingredients as 80 milligrams of potassium and 270 milligrams of sodium. Body Armor has 700 milligrams of potassium, 12 milligrams of magnesium, and 200 milligrams of sodium. Powerade has 60 milligrams of potassium, 6 milligrams of magnesium, and 230 milligrams of sodium, and BioSteel has an equal 230 milligrams of potassium and sodium and 10 milligrams of magnesium. Have you noticed the pattern here? Prime has a whole lot of potassium in its drink compared to its competitors. This brings us to one final question. The question that we should have been asking all along. Why? Why does Prime have so much potassium in it? What should be the actual measurement of this stuff? Well, the whole point of a sports drink is to replace the electrolytes you lose when sweating up a storm in the gym or on the field, but we don't lose them all, and we don't lose them at the same rate. Think about it. Sometimes your body keeps some things and throws out the rest like rotting zombie brains. The average person loses about 220 milligrams of sodium, 63 milligrams of potassium, 16 milligrams of calcium, and 8 milligrams of magnesium when sweating. The bottom line is, we lose way more sodium when hitting those reps than everything else. Sure, Prime has 835 milligrams of electrolytes in those cute little bottles, but most of that comes from its high potassium content. And as for the sodium that Prime is primarily supposed to help you replace, it's got a teeny tiny tablespoon of 10 milligrams to make up for that. Logan isn't exactly running a scam with Prime. He did promise an electrolyte drink, and that's precisely what you're getting when you pick up a bottle at the gym. However, for all that sweat you're losing, champ, Prime isn't replacing it, and you'd be better off drinking a Gatorade. Or just eating a banana if you want the potassium so bad. Logan's secrets all wrapped up, juiced, and drowned in a fruity bottle of Prime.